Good morning, fellow travelers. It is day 5. We are in Puerto Vallarta. We just docked a little bit ago and they've opened up the gangway. I am not awake yet. It is 7:54, it says. We actually changed time, and so my laptop is actually an hour different. I didn't change my laptop. My watch changed automatically to Mexico City time zone, so that was nice. And of course, when I woke up, I wasn't sure whether it had or not. And so I had to turn on the ship's TV to get the ship time. Anyway, so my plan today is I have arranged for transportation from a company called Vallarta Vanamos, which was recommended by somebody on a Facebook group I'm in as a good way of scheduling your transport instead of just relying on a taxi to get you someplace and then whenever you're there trying to figure out how to get a taxi back. I'm going to the Riu Palace Pacifico. It is an amazing looking resort, and I'm going to do a walk around and I'm going to enjoy the facilities, and I will show them to you so you can see if you want to do the same. I'll let you know how it goes. There's no handle in the back.
Huh?
There's no handle for the door.
It's on the end. Car handle?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Not used to that kind of handle. I've never seen that before. I'm looking at it and going, very strange. There's no handle for the door.
Yeah, we got this one and it was really weird.
So the way this works with Resort for a Day is that you select your cruise line, select the ship, select the dates, and it'll tell you how many passes it has and for which places, and then you choose which one you want. And you pay a small fee, usually around $20, to the Resort for a Day site, and then you get your ticket, and then you pay the balance at the hotel. And so I just went into registration there and paid the balance, and they took care of me. So you can see that this building is actually shaped in a U, and the ends of each of the legs of the U are the buffet restaurants, and the one on the right will have breakfast, the one on the left will have lunch, and then in between them there are a lot of specialty restaurants. I believe there is an upcharge for them, but I'm not positive. This is a really beautiful property, as you can see. I love the architecture as well. Before we sort of dive into activities here, I wanted to sort of do a walk around the entire property to sort of give you an idea of what the facility is like, because it's really quite extensive. The beach here was really nice. The sand was nice and soft and smooth, and the beach itself looked quite nice. It didn't seem to have that sharp drop off so many of them have in Mexico, and so it looked like it would be a very nice beach to, lay back in and also, of course, swim in. You can see it's got some, fairly low waves. They're nothing terrible or anything. And over on the side, they actually had a bunch of different water sports options that you could do. I believe they are a company there that charges for them, though. And we did see at some point a parasailer, so it looked like someone was availing themselves of them. This is the back half of the swim-up bar. The other side is actually in the pool. This is the massage tent, and the price was $40 for 60 minutes. Building has their kids programming, so there's people on hand to keep the kids entertained. You can see that on both ends of this pool there are several of these semi-submerged loungers that you can use. And this is their infinity pool inside of the regular pool. Most of the specialty restaurants were not open when I was here. It was actually between lunch and dinner time, and I believe they're only open for dinner. I did manage to catch the tail end of the breakfast buffet servings. I was not here to get food, more to record what kinds of food they were offering. And so you can see what would be offered if you went here. I must say I was impressed with the selections and the sheer volume of choices you had in this buffet. The Mexican restaurant was also closed, of course, and would not open, but unfortunately it was also quite dark, and so you'll see part of the restaurant better than the rest of the restaurant. This is the main bar that is off the lobby, and it's really quite pretty. I found it very elegant. There is a piano bar on one end and the full bar on the other end. And this is the piano bar, where you can see that there are seats you can go up into and sit at while someone's playing. Finally, we have the sports bar, which looked like it would be great for watching any kind of sports that you might find on their TVs. Plus, they also had various games that you could play in there. They have the foosball table, a couple of pool tables, and an air hockey table. Time to relax in the pool. Oh, and I think I should get a drink, don't you? Nice little booths with tables for people to sit and enjoy their drinks at, and even a bubbling pool, which I guess is probably not actually a hot tub since it's sharing water with the rest of the pool. But yeah, there's a very nice bar here and lots of places for people to enjoy. You can't tell, of course, but there is music playing, and This is where you just go up and get your drinks. When I registered, they gave me an armband so they would know that the drinks were included.
Welcome to Riu Palace for tequilas!
This was the water aerobics class, which wound up being very popular. This is the infinity pool seen from below it. And this is the infinity pool from inside. There's a nice ledge all the way around that you can sit on, as well as, of course, look out at the rest of the hotel property and the rest of the pool from the infinity pool. You can actually see the ledge easier from underwater. Time for lunch, and this is the lunch buffet restaurant. While there were numerous selections, there were not as many as there were in the breakfast restaurant by any means, but the food was good and I enjoyed it. Hello fellow travelers, it is the end of day 5 in Puerto Vallarta and I've had a great day. So what I did was not a booked shore excursion. It was basically I went to, I believe it's called Resort for a Day, and got a pass to the Riu Palace Pacifico. It's a resort hotel that is about half an hour's drive outside of Puerto Vallarta. And I used the company Vallarta Vanamos for the transportation, and we connected on Yelp. They were recommended by a travel agent in one of the groups I'm in, and for any kind of needs that you have for transportation there. And so you access them through Yelp, and we talked about logistics and were able to set up when to meet. So they picked me up at the port. The driver was very knowledgeable about the area, so that was quite helpful too, and was able to give me sort of a quick tour of the area around the hotel as well, and sort of talk about some of the other properties that were there that might be worth visiting some other time. So that was good to know. So I arranged to be picked up and dropped off at the hotel, and then they picked me up again at 3:30 as we arranged, and I got back to the ship in plenty of time, of course, and it was just a very great experience. So the Riu Palace is quite a resort. It has this most amazing lobby. It is just gorgeous. It's got two main restaurants. So the way it is laid out, you've got sort of the lobbies here, and then it has two arms of building. And so you walk into the courtyard and it's like a big U shape. At one end, you've got the big pool. You go further than that and you've got the beach. And so it's just a beautiful property, and the food was good. I got there about 11 because, we did a additional tour. It was about half an hour before the breakfast buffet restaurant would close. So what they do, the two arms of the U at the end, one is the breakfast buffet restaurant, and when that closes, then the lunch buffet restaurant opens. And so that's sort of how they handle it. I'm sure, if I'd been there long enough, the other one would probably do dinner as well. They also have a number of if you're used to cruising, they would be the specialty restaurants where there is an upcharge. And I believe the Palace also has some dining packages. So when you book there, it's sort of an all-inclusive resort. And you also have the ability to visit their other resorts if you're staying there. It includes those kinds of things. And I think there's a shuttle that goes between them, but I could be wrong. They had a little area for little kids, so I guess they have some kind of nursery program as well. They had a company there who was doing excursions for the property. It's called Vallarta Adventures, and it's a big company that's known pretty well around that area for doing their various tours. For dinner, I did Bistro sur la Mer. I had their, they give you a complimentary appetizer that's a fried polenta. They look like French fries, but they're at a polenta instead of potato. And there's a couple of dipping sauces, and then there's these olives. They look like olives, but they're not olives. They're made of goat cheese, and they're disguised to look like olives. They were tasty too. It was an unusual thing though, because if he hadn't told me, I wouldn't have eaten them because I don't like olives. He's like, those aren't really olives. The server recommended the sea bass, and it was good. At the very end of it though, I did get a couple of bones, which was kind of surprising, and one of the servers walked by as I was pulling one out, and she was like, "Oh, would you like me to get you another piece of fish?" And I'm like, "No, this is fine," because I was like literally the last bite of fish, so it was fine. And then I had a dessert that was, they said it was a meringue floating in like a lemon sauce, but for some reason I was thinking meringue like the meringue that had been dried or something, so they were hard and crunchy, but this was not. This was very soft and airy, so it was good. And yeah, that was dinner. That was good. Solo Sue signing off.